like, I think that, well, I was on The View recently and they asked me, do they think that artists should be conscious of their lyrical content at different points? And I was like, I don't want to tell an artist what to paint. You know, like, then it'll limit who could actually be involved in the culture because it would require information that they don't have. And then they got it, you know, like, 'cause some of them have the ability to do that and others.
So 50 Cent has allegedly just come out and dropped a bomb about how the label behind Drake went and set up the beef with Kendrick Lamar in order to generate profit for them. Backstage footage has resurfaced about 50 talking about Drake not getting preferential treatment anymore.
They don't treat Drake like this. They don't treat Drake like this. To help with God. They don't treat Drake like this.
Oh, I thought you said your feet.
No.
You said your feet.
No, Drake, they throw him bras. What do I get?
Universal Music Group, UMG, meanwhile has denied claims that it intervened in the ongoing feud between Aubrey Drake Graham, one of their signed artists, and Kendrick Lamar Duckworth. 50 also went on to talk about how it is a mistake to assume that Drake is falling off as a result of the beef.
Because I don't think that there's not a backlash to being successful in hip-hop culture. Like, it's created by the artist community itself. They don't say, what have you done? They say, what have you done for me lately? That whole cloud of, do you think you can do it again?
Right.
How many times he did it?
That's what I was trying to get to. It's like after a certain amount of time, after the massacre, after all these records are big, you've hit 4 times. Now it's almost like we're just waiting to be able to say you fell off.
Hot New Hip Hop had reported that the label, which recently re-engaged with TikTok after resolving licensing and artificial intelligence issues, was accused of stepping into the rapper's conflict because Drake was supposedly losing the feud. Even Joe Rogan felt like something was off with the number of songs being released.
But it can't be that they're thinking about where this goes. Because if you thought about where this goes, it don't go to anywhere good.
It goes only one place. You know what's funny? Because right now everyone's like, oh, Kendrick's killing him. And I was talking about this with Schultz, and I was like, yeah, I'd say Kendrick is up right now. He's probably winning this battle right now. He's being way meaner, clever, all that stuff. But I don't think when he went to bed, he felt good.
No. Can't be why you got into this business.
There's no way. And also for you two to be the 2 biggest rappers in the world and doing this, it can't feel good. Because you know what's funny? I wanted it. I'm one of the people that when it first happened, I was like, yes, the 2 best are going at it. This is what we want. And now that it's happened, I'm like, wow, I didn't want this at all. And this is dark.
And it seems like this one, how many songs did they release so far?
I think they're both at like 3 or 4. I think they're both at 3. They're both at 4. They're
8 songs, 4 each.
4 each.
Jesus Christ.
8.
That's so crazy.
A document that surfaced online alleged that UMG instructed Duckworth and Abel Makinen, Tesfaye, known as The Weeknd, to cease their disputes with Drake. The document also mentioned various measures the label allegedly took to mitigate profit losses stemming from allegations against Drake. Willie D pulled back the curtain on what these measures were.
A blind item is being circulated that purports to have the inside scoop on an alleged meeting between Kendrick Drake and Universal Music Group, which both artists are technically signed to via distribution subsidiaries. So basically, the money trickles down to Universal at the end of the day. No matter what happens between Kendrick and Drake, Universal Music Group gets paid. So this blind item, it had a few bullet points addressed in the blind, and it included the claim that UMG honchos tried to force Kendrick to capitulate to Drake and apologize and squash the beef. The blind item cited that K-Dot put out a statement acknowledging that Drake is not, in fact, a pedophile.
UMG representatives have refuted the contents of this document, asserting that they have not taken any actions to intervene and have no intention of ending the feud. Many have speculated that this is purely because UMG is actually making a lot of money out of this. Last week, VC Post reported that UMG experienced a 5.8% profit growth in the first quarter of 2024, amounting to $2.8 billion. This increase in revenue was attributed to a rise in paid music subscriptions and robust music publishing performance. It's the most talked about event in pop culture right now, with experts and fans dubbing it the defining hip-hop beef of the 21st century. The long-running animosity between two of the world's most recognized artists, Drake and Kendrick Lamar, finally broke out last week. On April 13th, Drake's song Push Up surfaced. It contained allegations about Lamar's height, shoe size, and business practices. On the follow-up single, Tailor Made Freestyle, he mocked Lamar for being afraid to release music at the same time as Swift. Drake also employed AI speech filters to imitate Tupac Shakur and Snoop Dogg, begging Lamar to properly represent the West Coast. The song was later taken down from all platforms when Shakur's estate threatened to sue him. At the end of April, Lamar used his first diss single, Euphoria, to label Drake a master manipulator and habitual liar. The song also criticized Drake's rapping style, attractiveness, racial identity, and role as a father. Lamar said Drake's usage of his partner, Whitney's name in push-ups, went too far. Lamar subsequently released a second, Instagram-only single, 616 in LA, in which he referred to Drake as a terrible person and said he had a mole on Drake's crew. That same night, Drake dropped Family Matters, in which he accused Lamar of domestic violence and infidelity. They hired a crisis management team to clean up that fact that you beat on your queen, he said. He further alleged that one of Lamar's children is fathered by his business partner. Lamar's Meet the Grams was released about 20 minutes later. Lamar accused Drake of being a sexual predator, saying that he and Harvey Weinstein should get f***ed up in a cell for the rest of their lives. Less than 24 hours later, he returned with Not Like Us, pressing down on his claims about Drake's illicit interactions with kids and labeling him a colonizer for exploiting black artists and culture. This led to a very public consensus. Kendrick had definitely won, and for a number of reasons, according to Trey D.
You can't be considered as a great when you have a team that's making you great consistently. You know, you have to be able to pick that pen up on your own and go duck off and be like, let me let this fool know. And I'm not saying, you know, Kendrick doesn't have anyone on his pen assisting him. I don't believe so. But it's the salvos that he fired and how he fired them off in succession. It was amazing. And the Aubrey, the Graham, whatever, the family breakdown.
Yeah.
It was creatively genius for him to create like a horror movie within a song, and then come back on top of that with shit that got him sea walking from here all the way to Alaska. And it's just, it's like, you know, and people know he's not gang banged out like that, but he's making it known. Like, we know most of you motherfuckers don't like the West Coast. We know. We see it in the accolades given. We see it in the inclusion in hip hop, you know, awards and certifications, and you know, it's like, okay, we get it, but you know, we constantly acknowledging and, you know, using parts of their music and, you know, giving them their props as the originators and all that. But damn, when it's gonna stop? You know, when the playing field gonna equal out?
Drake's relationship with Millie Bobby Brown, in particular, was already pretty odd, considering the age difference between them, and considering what she said 5 years ago.
What about your relationship with Drake? Tell me about your friendship. How did this all come about?
I love him. I met him in Australia, and he's honestly so fantastic and a great friend and a great role model. You know, we just text each other the other day, and he was like, I miss you so much. I was like, I miss you more. He's coming to Atlanta, so I'm definitely gonna go and see him. I'm so excited, yeah.
You and Drake? That's awesome. That's awesome.
What advice does he give you? Like, what does he say?
About boys. He helps me.
What?
Yeah. He's great. He's wonderful. I love him.
What's his advice with boys?
You know, that stays in the text messages.
This is like princess vibes.
Thank you.
Right now.
Thank you so much.
What does it feel to be here for your show?
I'm so privileged and honored to be able to represent such a fantastic show. And win or lose, we're a family, and it's an honor to just be here and be surrounded by such amazing people.
What about this season? You're going to high school.
Yes.
Is that going to be so different?
Are we going to high school?
High school.
No, I'm not, because it's the summer. So no school.
Summer
which is
before.
the summer before.
Even cooler.
Maybe. I don't know, but it's very, very exciting. I love the show. The scripts are so good, and it's awesome. Really good.
When Finn came in for that kiss, did he really say, "I'm coming in"?
He did say, "I'm coming in." It was great. It was good.
I'll be honest with you, it is something I have started doing as well. Hey, I'm coming in for the
coming
real
in.
thing.
Okay, all
Coming
right.
in for the real
There we
thing.
go.
You
Yeah.
have to announce it.
Yeah.
You want to make sure.
It's respectful.
Exactly. You want to make sure everything's all
Yeah,
good.
yeah, exactly.
It's an opportunity to be like, yep.
Yep. Let's not.
Fashion Week.
Yeah.
Hello, you were everywhere. What was the cute picture I saw? Was it you and Jeff Goldblum, I think?
Yes. Oh, he's amazing. I love him.
Naturally, this led to a lot of speculation immediately, with many speculating that Drake was grooming her.
We text and we talk, and he says that I miss you so much, and I tell him I miss him, and I imagine him at home being like, "No, shut up, stop." And there's another one where she's like, I met him at a hotel, and then we went out for dinner, and then we were hanging out every night for 3 days, and now we text each other all the time, and we love each other, and I'm just like, whoa.
And he's giving her advice on like boys and dating.
Yeah. And he's just got to be at home being like, God, no. All I'm saying is, Drake, be careful, because Papa's house
It's not safe.
we don't need another.
Welcome to Papa's house.
Papa's house. Don't need another inmate. So here, let's watch some of these videos. This is the first video that came out of her talking about him. Let me throw this up.
My adult.
This is a little excerpt of the video for you.
Crush. He's not my crush. Okay. Let me get this straight. He's like a brother. He's a brother. I met Drake in an Australian hotel. I was touring, and he was touring too. And honestly, his managers just came up to my dad and said, "Drake loves the show, come to a show tonight." And I was like, oh my goodness. And my dad, honestly, he was on T-Mobile, he was on the French T-Mobile trying to get us Wi-Fi for Australia. He was like, "I don't know who Drake is." And I was like, are you joking me? Drake? He wants to see me? And I was like, okay, we're going. So I got my outfit prepared, I went there, and he was such a fanboy, and I was such a fangirl.
I don't know about you guys, but that is setting off a lot of alarm bells inside my head.
From her perspective, I see why she doesn't think it's weird at all.
She's a 14-year-old girl.
Yeah, and she thinks she's adult. Like,
She
at that age,
definitely-
you're like, I'm an adult. Like, what's
I know
the difference?
everything at 14, yeah.
Yeah.
And she definitely has that air. She's a sweet girl. She's amazing, but you can tell she thinks.
Well, she's very mature, 14-year-old too.
Yeah.
But being 30 years old,
Being 31.
and from our perspective, it looks really weird. Us being closer in age to Drake.
Do you love me? Are you riding? Do you have a cell next to Cosby? Do you love me? Yeah. And so anyway, that's part one. Okay. That's fine. Kiki, are you 14? Do you love me? Do you have a prison cell next to Cosby? A lot of people say he's grooming her. It's just such a weird statement.
I don't know
The whole
that
concept.
term. What is grooming
Basically,
her?
what it means is that like he's preparing her for when she turns 18, so that he can legally hit it.
It's gonna be
Apparently,
4 years of dedication.
Allegedly, he's done that with some kind of 16-year-old girl. Ian's the keeper of culture and knowledge. I don't want to
What
get the
did
facts mixed up, but allegedly, and this is from a secondhand report, but there was some 16 girl he met when she was 16,
Yeah.
and when she turned 18, they started dating.
Really?
Yeah, allegedly, and may be false. So again, take everything I say here as pure fact and not speculation. Kiki, are you riding? Are you 14?
Welcome to Papa's house.
The other wrinkle in all of this is like people are saying he's just helping her out because he was a child star too.
Right. Okay.
You know what I mean? That's
Yeah,
like the
that's
defense.
a sweet angle.
Here, you want to see what she?
Yeah, what'd she say?
Oh, you gotta close your window.
Let me finish this. Let me see what.
Atlanta, so I'm definitely gonna go and see him. I'm so excited. Yeah.
You and Drake? That's awesome. That's awesome.
What advice does he give you? Like, what does he
Nice
say?
contribution, dude.
About boys, he helps me. What? Yeah,
See,
yeah.
and then it's like, why is it always got to go there? Drake's like, damn, we talk about other Why do you got to go there? We always talk about boys.
Many people then began pointing to another shocking relic from Drake's past. A video has surfaced of Drake kissing a 17-year-old girl in Denver, Colorado in May 2010. In the video, the Canadian rapper brings the girl on stage during his concert at the Ogden Theater, dances with her, kisses her neck, comments on her shampoo, and pulls her shirt down at the back of the neck to kiss her again, amid other things. Drake released The Heart Part 6 on May 5th, in which he denied ever having been with anyone underage, and claimed that he had planted false material about his hidden daughter, which Lamar had used. Many have, however, doubted this narrative by asking a very simple question. Did he also plant the part about him being an alleged pedophile? And, like the feud between Tupac Shakur and the Notorious Big in the 1990s, the one between Graham and Duckworth has since turned violent, with a security guard shot outside Drake's residence in Toronto on May 7th.
And again, I don't see, in this one, I don't see a gang nexus. I mean, I know Drake doesn't represent a gang. Kendrick was out from, Compton, I believe, and, there's lots of gangs out there. But I don't see Drake in that light. But it'll get worse. It will get worse. Unless they speak out and quash it, because right now it's escalated so much. I've read a few of the lyrics. I mean, it looks like in Drake's last one, he kind of backed it off a little bit. I think he said something along the lines of, I'm glad your fan base is getting some raps. I'm glad I helped you get motivated, or whatever. He said something like that. So kind of softened it a little bit. And that's what's going to have to happen. We're going to have to be bigger men about it. I mean, when you start talking about now your staff's getting injured and maybe civilians are going to get injured and maybe the round goes through the window and hurts a family member, they have to take that stuff into consideration. They have to start being sensible about things. You don't like him, he doesn't like you, what are you going to do? But like you said, those allegations about pedophilia and things like that, that's pretty serious. And here's another thing. A lot of people in the world, in their fan base, will take that very serious. Pedophilia, when you start talking about things like that. Now that might strike a chord with somebody and that may cause them to react. So there's so many things in these lyrics, they're so powerful. And just firing it back and forth at each other, like you said, with the social media, everything flows and it flows right now. So they're gonna have to squash this too.
Some have accused rappers of using women's anguish and trauma to boost their own image. Do you think that part is true? Who do you think won the beef? Let us know in the comments.